Tonight's program is a friendly public service announcement reminder to you all to update your files. That, as I've always taught you, there are no nice girls. There are no good girls. Just varying degrees of bad. And what you also are learning is what I'm reminding you about tonight, that there are no nice guys. Just the fellas who can move how they want to move, and the other fellas who pretend to be different to sucker females in, and in reality, they want to be 5 times worse than the guys that they're criticizing.
I did ask if he had condoms or if he could use them, and he said, I'm trying to remember, because this wasn't over text. He said, he didn't say that they don't work on him, but he prefers without condoms.
Yeah, and so he just finished in you and then wanted you to take the pill.
Right.
Knowing that he can get people pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Okay.
I don't want to.
You're not. They just give you a pill and it's over. No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
Okay. This is just for everyone watching at home. Abortion shouldn't be something you guys take lightly, okay? Abortion should not be some form of birth control that you guys heavily rely on. All right? A lot of you guys are just busted inside of people, no birth control. They're not on birth control, don't care. And then when shit hit the fan, you just looking at the ladies like, yo, take a pill. Go to the clinic. Like, that's an incredibly physically traumatic thing for a lot of women to experience. It fucks up their hormone balance for an extended period of time, it has physical ramifications, and it messes with their psyche. If you've never had your hormones completely out of whack, you may never be able to understand. But just casually say, yo, just take a pill, do this, just get rid of it. You guys are asking a lot. Y'all are so goddamn irresponsible about it. I don't even care if you guys get caught up having to pay child support.
Nigga, what?
Okay, so, yeah, folks, I wasn't going to say anything here, and I'm not going to, harp on it too long. I'm just going to say there's more females falling out the woodwork here talking about, by the way, I got pregnant by him also. Apparently nobody's brought a baby to term, but needless to say, he's not denying anything where they're concerned. So apparently he's doing his best Stefan Diggs impersonation. That's all I can imagine here. He's doing his best Stefan Diggs impersonation with varying degrees of success here. I'm not going to roast anybody here tonight. That's not the reason for me doing this. I'm doing this tonight because I want to have a conversation about simping. I want to have a conversation about betas, and I want to have a conversation about the liars, the pathological liars who call themselves nice guys or try to come across as nice guys. Oh, you females need to deal with me because I'm so much better than those fellas over there. I'm so much better than them. You guys over there, you're no good nicks. I will sit on my high horse and see, ladies, you should all be with me. You should listen to me because I'm a nice guy. I'm nothing like those fellas over there. I would never do you wrong, ladies. Yeah. And then you find out, as throughout history, the fellas who do the most of that kind of bull jive ass talk, the only issue here is they wish they could do it. This is not a roast. We're just having an honest conversation. The truth is, they're all nice guys until they get the opportunity to do what the players do. They talk trash about the players because they secretly are jealous as hell of them. And as soon as he gets his chance to do the same thing the players were doing, he's way worse than any of the men that they were criticizing. Way worse. So I'm taking this as an opportunity to remind you all, fellas, there are no good girls. And ladies, there are no nice guys. The nice guys are just closet narcissists who failed at being the type of gigolo men that they wish they could be. So he's got to adopt a different strategy because that one's not going to work for him. He's got to move different and go different because that strategy isn't going to work for him. He's looking for females who are harboring resentments towards the men who have sexual variety. And then you think you're going to course correct. I need a guy who doesn't have sexual variety. Here's the problem, ladies. Every man wants sexual variety. Get over it.
And deal with it, nigga.
You're only lying to yourself if you want to believe. Not my man. He doesn't want to have a bunch of women like that. He just wants me. Okay. You can believe whatever cornball lie you want to. But the bottom line is every man wants sexual variety. Every man. Every man wants to have multiple sexual options. You don't have to like it. You don't have to be comfortable with it. You don't have to believe it. Take a look at your life, ma'am. It is what it is. And if you make the simple-minded calculus, I'll go get a guy who claims that that's not what he wants. Baby, you're going to get yourself suckered in. Because there's a bunch of lames out there waiting to pick up the low-hanging fruit, waiting to get the chicks that the players have run through. See, here's the thing. When I talked about this, and by the way, Abba was claiming that he didn't know, or he didn't believe about the, quote, stereotype about nurses. He didn't believe it. So he's watched my video. Okay. Well, it's time for you to finish getting gamed up. Time for you to finish getting gamed up. When chicks have been run through by a bunch of dudes and her sexual behavior shows exactly how she moving, no disrespect, just reading the mail. Just reading the mail. When females have been run through by a bunch of dudes, what happens is Mr. Nice Guy, he can't really go elbow to elbow with the real players, so he's willing to wait for the chicks that the frontline players get done with. After those chicks are emotionally ragged through because all that sexual joyriding didn't end up where she wanted to, these guys wait to come pick up the leftovers. They're waiting in the wings. As soon as she gets done getting run through here, hi, I'm Mr. Nice Guy. I would never do that. And he does it 4 times worse. That's the only issue that I got with Abba. Abba, the only issue that men have with you is you're a liar. You spent all these years ragdolling everybody else and claiming that these were bad things. And at the very same time, you were doing the exact same thing. You're like one of those televangelist preachers. You were doing it at the exact same time you were preaching against it. You were doing it times 4, times 5, whenever, wherever, however you could get it. That's the issue that men got with you, is being a liar. You see, when you're a simp and you're lame, you have to lie. That's the difference. You can't just come out and say, hey, this is what it is, and I want to play too. Simps and lames are habitual pathological liars because they have to be. You can't afford to just come out and be forward facing and say to the women, hey, this is how I want to move. Hey, what Stephon Diggs is doing with the rest of these players, I want to do that too. But you don't have confidence enough in yourself to be able to say that. You haven't gotten that kind of response from women that has confirmed for you that you can just come out and say that. And by the way, and you're resentful of the men who can just come out and say, hey, this how I'm moving. The fellas who can be front line and say, I don't do exclusivity. I don't do that. The nice guys are jealous of the men who can be honest. That's the difference. They are no better and no different. As a matter of fact, they're way worse because they're corny and lame. But he can't be honest and just tell the women, yeah, this is how I want to do it. I want to move just like this over here. But he can't come out and say that because the females look at him and say, no, not you. Stephon Diggs can do that. Michael B. Jordan can do that. Not you. But he wants the same kind of action. They all do. The Derek Jacksons, that other cornball with the glasses lying his ass off. I know that doesn't narrow it down, but there's so many of them out here selling females on whatever candy-coated flavor of lies she wants to believe. These guys are all lying, and they're all doing the same thing. And you can be simple and easy and gullible if you want to be, but there ain't no nice guys. They're just the guys who have the sexual variety that they want, and they're up front with it. And the fellas who can't get it by being up front, so they're going to lie and say that's not what they really want. And then as soon as they got you in their clutches, they're all over the damn place. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and play this tonight. If you all want to go look into it, you can. If you all want to go looking into it and go, checking into it, you can go ahead and do that. There's plenty of videos out there now. There's videos out there being made and videos out there being dropped. A bunch of other chicks are coming forward. The hoes are comparing notes. What? The hoes are getting together and comparing notes. They're comparing dates. They're sitting up here having a damn girly group chat, and they're comparing notes and comparing dates. So they're all going with each other saying, hey, I was with him on this date. What about you? And these other girls like, oh, he told me he was out of town. So now they're like, oh, he was with me while he was with you and with this girl over here. And it's just like, dude. So, at least Fresh and Fit were up front with it. This is the cornball version. At least Fresh and Fit were up front with what they wanted. And I advise that for all men, by the way. I advise that for all men. I am not telling you that it's going to avoid drama. Understand something. In the modern era, females have no weapons except drama. I'm not telling you it avoids drama. What I'm telling you is that it avoids lack of integrity. It avoids that. Abba and so many of the nice guys are having trouble because you've given up your integrity by trying to pass off this lie. See, when they get the chance to have sex with all these women the way they want to, you notice they lose all discipline. They go flying completely overboard. Yeah, that's what they wanted the whole time. So why didn't he protect other men's ability to do the same thing that he was doing? Oh, Abba, I got to have a teaching moment with you right quick. Got to have a teaching moment with you. I'm not going to get into the tether scamming dimension of it. What? But I got to have a teaching moment with you here for a moment. Folks, the question that nobody is asking, and before tonight you hadn't heard it, why is it that Abba didn't spend the last 4-5 years defending the right of all these other men to do what he was doing at the same time? Why didn't he defend Walter, Fresh and Fit? Why didn't he defend his right to run through them chicks? Why didn't he defend their right to do that when he was doing it at the same time? Because as I just told you, there are the Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. I would never do that. Those are the dirtiest damn niggas in the room. That's why. He wants to cut you off from other women. He wants to tell the women not to fool with you because you're no good. And as soon as he gets you into bed, oh, he gonna dog you dirty. But y'all got to understand, the nice guys are the dirt. I can't even call them dirty Macs. They're just dirty lames. They're just dirty. They're dirty. They're low down. They're backsliding. And they want to talk. It's a pathetic attempt on their part to try to talk all the females into consolidating on them. You want to be with the nice guy. He's doing the exact same thing that somebody else is doing, and yet he's not defending their right to do it. He's doing it, but he wants to tell you that you're wrong if you do it. So he's trying to talk everybody into leaving all the females out here for him. You ladies should not all be piling up on those players over there and those alphas over there. You all should be piling up over here with me and the rest of the lames. You should be over here with us. And that's their mating strategy. Tell the females that you all need to stop consolidating on the alphas and players. You all should really be consolidating over here on the lames and betas. And we'll call ourselves nice guys. Let me explain something to you all here. I am not Mr. Nice Guy. What? I am none of this old lame ass stuff here. You all know me. You know what it is. Fellas can't just come out and say what the hell it really is right off the top. I've never been a one-woman man. I don't see it happening. It ain't the way I'm going in. If you want to believe that nonsense, go right ahead. I tell you the same thing from day one. These fellas can't afford to just say it up front. They can't afford to just come out and tell you from the beginning, yeah, that ain't me. That's not me. Hey, baby, move how you want to move, but that's not me. Now, they want to do it, but they can't do it. They want to say it, they want to live that life, but they can't really do that because they've tried it and the females let them know, oh, no. This other fella over here, he can have more than one woman at a time, but not you. I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to share you. You don't have enough value to be shared. So, we ain't sharing you. We're not sharing you. So the females get to hit him with an ultimatum. And he's got to roll with the ultimatum. He doesn't get to tell them, yeah, baby, get in where you fit in. He doesn't get to say that, but damn, they desperately want to do it. They're like, damn, it feels so good to have options. They don't just get to come out from the very top and say, yeah, I want options and not a couple of them. I want a bunch of options. So they sit up here and dog out the males who do have it. Meanwhile, he's sitting there doing the same thing. That is the lowest, dirtiest, scummiest, lowest form of lame ass male. Notice what I'm getting at here, y'all. I'm not even talking about the females right now. I'm talking about the lion beta simp, Mr. Nice Guy, who goes around trying to cut the legs out from under other men who are doing the same thing he's doing because he wants to hog all the females for himself. Oh, yeah, and failing. What? Damn! Oh, yeah, and one more thing, and failing. He wants to hog them for himself and failing at it. This also goes into another matter here, folks. I want to back this up and play this for you here one more time because this actually goes into one more issue here.
I did ask if he had condoms or if he could use them, and he said, I'm trying to remember because this wasn't over text. He said he didn't say that they don't work on him, but he prefers without condoms.
Yeah, and so he just finished in you and then wanted you to take the pill.
Right.
Knowing that he can get people pregnant. That's crazy. Okay.
I don't want to.
You're not. They just give you a pill and it's over. No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
Okay. This is just for everyone watching at home. Abortion shouldn't be something you guys take lightly, okay? Abortion should not be some form of birth control that you guys heavily rely on. All right. A lot of you guys are just busted inside of people, no birth control. They're not on birth control, don't care. And then when shit hit the fan, you just looking at the ladies like, yo, take a pill. Go to the clinic. Like, that's an incredibly physically traumatic thing for a lot of women to experience.
Okay, well, I'm so glad you kept that in mind. First thing this reminds you all is that, by the way, remember when he spent all that time trying to convince everybody that he can't get pregnant? His doctor told him that his sperm count is so low that he can't get anybody pregnant. What? Remember that? I mean, does anybody remember? He spent a whole video, publicly admitting that, oh, my doctor says that My doctor told me that I can't get people pregnant. Now you got 4 or 5 females. What? And at this point now, 4 or 5 jumping up talking about he had no problem getting me pregnant. So he made a whole video swearing up and down and going on and on and on and on and on about, well, the doctor said I can't get you pregnant. And that sounds like them females who say the doctor said that I can't get pregnant. And now you got 4, 5 chicks talking about he got me pregnant just fine. He got me pregnant just fine. So the first chick, or at least the first one who came out, wasn't a fluke. It's like, his sperm works just fine. As a matter of fact, he's out here overworking it. Tell me, for a YouTube channel that has spent so much time trying to elevate itself and put itself in a position of moral authority, moral piety, above and beyond, how do you talk about any of these subjects or issues you've been talking about before now? How do you talk about Stephon Diggs? How do you talk about Future? How do you talk about NFL athletes, boxers? How do you talk about pregnancy, period? How do you talk about that now? It's going to be hella awkward. It's going to be hella awkward now. When it's just like, dude, you and Future are in a foot race. Not dissing, not bombing. This is a teaching moment. This is a teaching moment right now that I'm having. I'm having a teaching moment because I want to go ahead and make sure that we're clear on a few things going forward. You see, the issue is the lying. The issue is the lying. The issue is the lying and sitting up here trying to undermine other males because they want sexual options and you want them too. There's the thing right there. You can be as upset and mad with me as you want to. See, I'm the only YouTube channel who will sit up here and tell y'all directly, we don't hate hoes.
And deal with it, nigga.
You all don't know anybody else who will sit here and tell you with a straight face, hey, we don't hate hoes here. We don't hate hoes. We don't. Get the hell on with all that hoe hating. We don't hate hoes here. We just demand that you be honest. You just have to be an honest hoe. That's all. We ain't gonna hate on you. But you gotta be real and you gotta be honest. That's all we demand is honesty. As long as you an honest hoe, let's chop it up. I can rock with Brittany Renner long as she's honest. As long as Brittany Renner keeps it real, I can rock with Brittany. I ain't mad at her. Cardi B. Hey, she keeping it real. She keeping it on top. You expect me to get mad at Cardi B and she keeping it on top? I ain't rocking with getting pregnant while you still married. I'm not rocking with that at all. However, she's not hiding it either. You can see it for what it is. She's not hiding it. Okay. So as grown men and grown women, it's like, okay, baby, as long as you being honest about what it is. If you was twirling on the pole, hey, be that. If that's what you do or that's what you done, we need to know that. And I'm going to deal with you accordingly. I'm not going to lie to you. All I'm going to demand is that you don't get to come to the door lying to me. Over there in simp, lame, Mr. Nice Guy lying world, Mr. Nice Guy lies. He tells you that everybody needs to be these wonderful, upstanding individuals and what they wouldn't do and this, that, and the other. And meanwhile, he's sitting here, I'm talking about racking up global frequent flyer miles. Why can't we just be honest from the jump? Why can't we just keep it real from the start is what I'm saying. See, this is where we get messed up at. Why don't we just get to keep it real from the start? Hey, ladies, if this fella over here gets to have more than one female, you need to be honest about that. If this other fella over here is like, you can't have more than one chick unless I'm driving a Bentley.
Oh, please.
Okay, ladies, say that up front. Let it be that. Yeah, for this other fella over here, I can share him, but you ain't got the same swag. I can't share you unless I'm getting something extra. I gotta get something extra to share you. Okay, why can't it be that? Why can't it be that? And for the fellas, the same damn thing. It's like, hey, if you want options, put yourself where you need to be so that you can just say, hey, this is what it is. And if the chick roll with it, you don't get to hoe hate. You don't get to do any of that. But these folks can't afford to just say that. They can't afford to say that, so then they start lying. Here is the lesson that Abba is learning right now. When you lie to yourself about the world, you're also going to lie to yourself. I wasn't sitting up here impugning somebody when I said, hey, wait a minute. I saw this chick's Instagram. The first thing that stuck out to me was she was a nurse. I'm like, oh, y'all know the rules? You know the rules. As soon as I saw those nurses' scrubs, I said, oh, okay. I know what's up. I know what's up. I'm not hating on you. But when you show me that you have another Instagram page, you got a second Instagram page where you're showing that booty meat. I'm like, okay, well, that goes with the territory. You rocking with a nurse. Nigga, I'm not mad. When you're a grown man and you ain't playing like a liar, then you accept the situation because you know the rules. Okay, if you rocking with a nurse, if you rocking with an airline stewardess, if you rocking with a chick in the military, nigga, you know the rules. If you ain't grown enough and cultured enough and seasoned enough that you know what it is, you gonna get what you get. He saw it was a nurse. He knows what I've been teaching and what I've been saying. And he said, I didn't believe that. And I'm like, obviously you did because I see how you was doing her. So why can't it be that as soon as we saw those nurses' scrubs, we knew what it was? I saw those nurses' scrubs and I'm like, okay, now I know how to approach you. Now I know how to deal with you. Now we know what level we're going to interact on. Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that? Look, if the heifer works in a hospital, nigga, it's going down. Damn! If she works in a hospital, all bets are off. That's just it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Why the hell can't we just be honest? This is the problem right here when you want to have a culture of dishonesty. That's the thing I have a problem with. A culture of dishonesty. Because then you start teaching other folk that they need to be dishonest too. That's the problem. They start telling them that they need to be dishonest also. So everybody's got to be a lying piece of crap. You have to sit up here and pretend that you're a nice guy that you really aren't. And then you go lying to other people. Instead of just saying, damn, I wish I could move like the fellas do who don't have to lie about a damn thing. Instead, you go around demonizing them. That's what I got a problem with. Here's the bottom line here, folks. I don't sit up. These females are not your property, nigga. They not. My man Finesse 2 times told you when the hoe ready to go, the hoe ready to go. You need to be a grown man and understand that reality. These chicks are not your property. So when you start lying to get them to sit still because you don't really have the character or what you need to be able to do that, that's the issue. When you lose that. That's the problem. That's the issue. See, it's hard for you to have that kind of conversation because then you have to actually stand on some business. That female is going to test you. This is an Asian Filipino nurse in California. She's done met fellows who making 7-8 figures already. If you really have that kind of character and that kind of swag to be able to boss up and say, I can have more than one chick, she's going to be able to test you and it's going to be what it is. She's going to be able to test you and see if you're real about that. If that's who you really are, if she weighs you, engages you, and is like, yeah, he's the kind of guy who can have 3 or 4 women. Multiple women would compete for him. That's different. You other fellas, you got to lie. If you're a fella who can really just rock it and you can have more than one female, it'll just fall in your lap. But if you can't, well, you have to lie. You gotta lie. You gotta tell the chick you're in love. You gotta tell her that you've been dreaming about getting her pregnant.
Nigga, what?
You gotta tell her that you've been dreaming about starting a family. So were you dreaming about starting a family with all these other chicks too?
Lie.
That's what you have. That's what Mr. Nice Guy has to do. Mr. Nice Guy has to lie, love bomb, make up stories, tell everybody that he's never felt this way about a chick before. Oh, I only got eyes for you. Mr. Nice Guy has to do that. Mr. Nice Guy has to do that. So I'm telling all the ladies here tonight, ladies, you can believe the lie if you want to. You need to get your head on straight. Either that or you're going to spend the whole damn life running up a body count by the bad boys and the nice guys. That's what your draws are going to be stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea. Damn! You're going to be caught between the bad boys and the nice guys. And your desperate, stupid, sycophantic, ignorant attempt to avoid maturity is just going to get you with crazy ass body count numbers. You're going to be looking back over your sexual history. How in the hell did I end up in bed with that? That's going to be your life. And for most females today, it is. So, ladies, grow the hell up. Or don't. Just watch that body count go into orbit. But you're going to be stuck between the bad boys and the, quote, nice guys. And then you're going to be all mad and angry and bitter and jaded. And you'll be telling that lie that they're all the same. Actually, they're not all the same. However, you being silly opens opportunities for folk to treat you the same. If you actually have clear standards and deal with people honestly and openly, it makes you less of a naive fool. When you start saying, I want the men to be a certain way so that I can get over, now you're in trouble. Don't trust Mr. Nice Guy. You want to go looking for a safe lame who, oh, he'll be safe and I can just do it however, and then you find out it ain't like that. It's not like that. Because you're the judge of their character. And since you're not actually judging if they're real or not, and you're getting caught by fellas who are putting on a good game or a good camouflage or a lame game because you can't see through it. Because let's just be honest, these chicks, they went with Abba because they thought he was soft. They thought, and they're right. He's soft and he's going, oh, he ain't really got that player swag to him. He doesn't really know how to play the game correctly. And they were right. However, he knew how to sweet talk you goofy broads in the bed. Damn! He did know how to do that. He did know how to do that. Now, I'm not going to beat up on things a whole lot here. What I am going to say is that right now, Abba and Preach are steering perilously close to Akash Singh territory. What? Right now, Abba and Preach are dancing perilously close to going into Akash Singh territory. I'm not wishing it on them. but I am saying that it is obvious what's going on. That chick didn't really have nothing on you for the first one, but what she did do is she started going back and recruiting hoes. Now she's going around recruiting hoes. And that lets me know that she knew these other women were already there. She just wanted them to say something. In the chat room, you can delude yourself if you want to. I said what I said. They are dancing perilously close to ending up in Akash Singh territory. Now, I know it's like the Kevin Samuels thing. Some of y'all are stans. Abba's my daddy. Okay. I mean, hey, do what you do, man. I'm going to do the math over here. So you go over there and you smoke the hopium. You do that over there. I'll be over here doing math. I'll just be over here doing math. Now, I'm just letting you know right now, your ability to be able to speak on these things, that's what she was going at. And now she's recruited the rest of the hoes. And what I'm saying is, y'all, do you think the hoes are finished falling out the tree just yet? Do you think you've heard the last of it? Because now you're getting word that Preach is saying that Abba doesn't want to go and do live appearances. If that's true, I mean, that's the same thing that happened with Akash, remember? He didn't want to do his podcast anymore. He didn't want to do Flagrant anymore. So if Preach is being honest, Preach says that Abba doesn't want to go outside like that anymore. He doesn't want to do live appearance. If that's true, okay, then what is he concerned about? He's concerned about that. All right. That's what happened to Akash. You don't have to like it. It doesn't have to be comfortable to you. You can say, damn, I was hoping it wouldn't happen to old boy over here. Well, okay. Well, there it is. There it is. There's so many lessons to be learned in here. We're having lessons about honesty tonight. Having lessons about honesty and how far that will get you there. Folks, can we all just put it on the bricks and everybody be straight up? I love me a good nurse. Love me a good nurse. I'm going to be handing out side chick applications soon. What? As a matter of fact, details coming up shortly. Love me a good nurse. Love me a good military chick. Love me a good chick working food service. Love me a good chick who works in the legal field. That's great. I don't have to lie about where the hoes are. And I'm not going to let you lie to me either. So let's just be straight about that so we can deal with each other as adults. But you see, when you start demanding that other people lie to you, that's because you want to be able to lie to them. That's the problem. When you got a Asian chick in California with her nurse's scrubs on and you sitting up here telling me that you catching feelings, I'm just like, okay, dude, you new to this. You're new to this. You're trying to tell me that you were in love and you wanted to make a permanent commitment. And I'm like, okay, and you're surprised to find out that she's got secondary pages where she's entertaining other men. Nigga, I said that from day one. How is it I called it from day one and then you're mad about it? So to the fellas out there, this isn't hate, it's maturity. Ladies, if a man is trying to get a bunch of money, a man don't want a bunch of money for nothing more than stacking up a bunch of females.
And deal with it, nigga.
It is what it is. Why does he need such tremendous excess capacity? Men are minimalists. You go to the stores for shopping, ladies. Okay, let me go ahead and, the women already know this, but you just try to tell these lies because you want to believe you can have your cake and eat it too. When you go to the store, ladies, the men's shoe section is one little old ass aisle. The female shoe section is 8 damn lanes. The men's underwear is one little old rack over here. The women's underwear is half the damn store. The women's clothing section is twice the size of the men's. for everything. Jewelry, underwear, shoes. And that's because men are minimalists. When it comes to vehicles, the number one selling vehicle is the Ford F-150, a pickup truck. That's what men would get. This other stuff is for female comfort. And then y'all try to play dumb, knowing full well that excess capacity is not for him. That excess capacity is for you, which is why women try to knuckle dudes with money under for marriage or a baby, because she wants access to that excess capacity. Men are minimalists. We're cool with a bed, a TV, and I'm not even a TV person, a bed and a table and a cell phone, and we're good. Fella like me, a bed, a table, a laptop, I'm straight. Of course, I need a bunch of other gear because I do things, but you get the idea. We're minimalists. You get into a female car, there's crazy air freshener, there's stickers all on the damn dashboard. She gets a cell phone case, there's stickers and glitter and all kinds. Man, she wants to get a new phone every year. Men will have the same damn cell phone for a decade. Women, they're going to go buy a new cell phone because Apple said the new one's coming out. Same damn phone as the last one, but need that. So we are minimalists. If a man is trying to have tremendous excess capacity, that tells you one thing. Whatever it is that he likes, he wants more than one. If he has the capacity to support 5 households, that's because he wants 5 times as much. If he's got one female, but he's got enough money to support 6 females, that's because he wants 6 women. You can lie to yourself and then come back crying later about who he was laying up with. You know it's the damn truth. If a man's got the capacity to support 6 women, that's because he wants 6 women. Ain't that right, Floyd Mayweather Jr.? Fresh out of child support court, about to break off another chick. Why does a man need that much excess capacity, ladies, for just you? You know full damn well you're not that stupid and that silly. You're just hoping you can have your cake and eat it too. So if a man gets excess capacity, you already know what he wants it for. Okay, so can we be honest about it? Can we be honest about what the excess capacity is for so that we can have solid rules of the road? Can we do that? Because if you force men to lie to you, which is what most of you women are doing today, if you force men to lie to you, then you end up in this situation where men don't think they can be honest with you. Now, he still wants what he wants, so he can either get it honestly or he can get it dishonestly. And as women find out, men have no problem looking in your face and lying to you. Even that so-called little lame dude over there that you thought was too square and too awkward and too oddball to have the guts to look you in the face and lie, these chicks are upset because they got by Damn Me Abba from Abba and Preach. Nigga, please. Man, imagine getting got by Abba. I mean, not a real rock solid player. Just, you got by Abba. You didn't get got by a dude who's in, a dude who's solid, a dude who's recognized by the players. You got by Abba. Hell, I'd be mad as hell too. I'd be mad as hell too if I got by Abba. If you let him get in and get over. You sitting up here fighting with abortion clinics and Plan B and C and by Damn Me Abba of all people. And that's what you got by. I'd be mad as hell too if that was my fate. Okay, well, if you told yourself that these fellas are too square and too lame to be able to successfully hoodwink you and bullcrap you and lie to you, what you're finding out is, baby, it comes second nature. It comes second nature. Now, I'm not going to go into the pearly things thing.
Damn!
I'm not going to remind y'all about the pearly things thing. I'm not going to do that because there were certain folks out there who were defending her, and, you know, we ain't going to go into that. I'm not going to get deep off into that except to say, by the way, that does sound familiar. How you do one thing is how you do all things. How you do one thing is how you do all things. So, I will say there were signs. There were signs. This is a lesson tonight to everyone here listening. Divorce yourselves from the lie of the nice guy. The nice guys are liars. The nice guys are manipulators. The nice guys think that this nice is a front and a fraud for the sole intention of getting you to drop your guard. He figures it's like that friend zone garbage. There isn't a single fella who wants to be in a damn friend zone. The only women that men don't sexually desire are the ugly ones.
Damn! Auntie, chill!
Men do not have natural friendships with females. We don't have the same interests. We don't have the same vibe. We don't have the same chemistry. We don't have friendships with females. We can have associations, but we can't have a friendship with a female who has any sexual potential. The only friendship we can have with a female, that really doesn't even compute. We can have an association. We can have an affiliation. We can't have a female as a friend. Females are not people that we want to be friends with. She has to be able to do what men do in order for us to form a friendship. You have to see things a certain way. So we can have an affiliation and an association. We can't have a friendship with you. And when you have a fella claiming he wants to be your friend, that means that he's in the waiting room for them draws. And women know this. Women ain't stupid. Females are not stupid from the time they're adolescents. You know full well he does not want to be your friend. However, you also are slick and you're like, well, I'm going to use this against him. Hey, this nigga got a pickup truck. Hey, I'm not going to pick up. There's a bunch of you fellas listening here right now. Pay attention, Abba. There's a bunch of you fellas here right now, man. You done help hoes move. What? Oh, it's some fellas in here right now. They about to do the walk of shame. You've helped females move. You help hoes move their furniture, move their appliances. Nigga, I'm talking about in July, you sitting up here fighting up that damn ramp for the U-Haul for a broad you ain't even laying up with. You're setting up her bed from IKEA.
Damn!
Man, you sitting up here unboxing and setting up that bed she got from IKEA. You reading the instructions over there. Okay, let me get this open right quick. Page 3. Okay, number 5 part hooks on here. She's standing in the damn door just looking. You going through the manual. Okay, let's. All right, don't worry, I got this. Okay, here's the Allen wrench. She's sitting up here. Oh, you're so handy. This nigga is sitting up here putting all this stuff together. He's putting together the IKEA bed so she can lay up with another dude.
Boy, What in the hell's the matter with you?
I got fellas in here right now. You have been sweating with that hand truck to move this chick's sofa into her apartment. You're one of her co-workers. Nigga, you know who you are. You know who you are. You've helped her move in her sofa. The sofa she gonna lay up with another dude on. Some of y'all are heartbroken. You've moved a whole sofa on the second and third damn floor of her apartment, nigga. I mean, you just clumping up them stairs. Fighting with that damn door. You trying to move it halfway sideways just so she can put it in the living room for another dude to lay on it with her. And then she's going to come back in a few months and tell you about how all he wants to do is sit on the couch and play Xbox.
Oh, please.
And you're going to be sitting there like, wait a minute. He's sitting on the couch playing Xbox. Is that the same couch that I helped you move into your apartment?
Sit your ass down.
The same couch that you helped move into her apartment. 'Cause you her friend. She done laid up with this dude, done sweated all over it. He's sitting there, done left his drawers on it.
What?
You ain't seen this heifer barefoot. And this other dude done had her butt booty naked on the couch that you helped move in, but you a friend. So you're the friend. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm rubbing that in. Jason, why are you dragging this so long? I'm rubbing that in. I know I'm hurting some feelings on some fellas here tonight. Mr. Nice Guy. Mr. Friend Zone. I just want you to know, nigga, we see you. We see you. You done set up the whole damn Fisher-Price Playhouse in her apartment.
What?
And another dude done laid up all over the place. He done the couch and the love seat, the table. You went in there and set up the bed you put together. He been wearing her out all over it. And you still in the damn friend zone, waiting your turn. Well, maybe they'll have a falling out any day now. Ladies, that ain't a nice guy. That's a low-key scavenger. That's a low-skilled vulture. He's waiting for you and your dude, the dude you really want. He thinks he's laying back in the cut waiting for y'all to have trouble. He's waiting for you to get real lame one night and call him up. Oh, me and him are having problems. Oh, you are? Oh, my friend. I'm so sorry to hear that, my friend. Why don't you let me come over and we can talk about it? Ladies, you know what the hell that is. He didn't move that damn sofa because out of the goodness of his heart. He moved that sofa because he figured at some point you and him gonna be on it. And he's waiting for you and the guys you really want to have a falling out so he can finally get his turn. A man has no interest, no room, and no benefit in the friend zone. You know full well he's waiting for his shot. And you know it. Mr. Nice Guy, my ass. We need to just be able to tell him exactly like it is. Hey, look, I'm an ass, okay? No, I'm not trying to get married. No, I ain't really trying to do none of that. Look, is you coming or is you not? Fellas need to be on that. And I know lames will be with you forever. Simps will be with you forever. Liars will be with you forever. I am under no illusions that I'm about to correct human nature and mankind. I'm just letting the few folk listen to me know that, hey, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be like this. You can have a world where people are honest with each other. You really can. All right, but you might disagree. Therefore, I've gone ahead and pinned the link to the Zoom there in the chat room. So you can see where it says call us. I pinned the link to the Zoom in the chat room. You can go ahead and get at me. Let me go ahead and jump over here on Zoom right quick. All right, Soldier Boy, what's on your mind?
What's going on, Jason? It's always an honor and a privilege to be back. And like always, like I've been on your show in the past, man, your broadcast in the past, you know I'm going to say something crazy. Thank you for doing this broadcast. And I got some good questions for you. And I think the other fellas are going to enjoy this. First thing that just keep ringing on my mind. Do you think that Abba should try to reinvent himself now as like some new nice guy sleaze? Because he can't come back from what he's doing. Go ahead.
I mean, if he were smart about it, but here's the problem. You have to have authority to be able to do that. And the problem is, if your only authority is it being a liar, you don't actually have a solid ideology. You know how to lie. You know how to get over. You know how to deceive. And the problem with lying is that only works on certain people. You can't lie to everybody because there's a lot of folk out there, they've been lied to before they see you coming. So lying really takes a specific candidate to get over on. So that doesn't work for him. Like with Derek Jackson. Derek Jackson could not reinvent himself. The reason he couldn't reinvent himself is because a liar and a con man is all he knows. He doesn't know how to be a genuine stand-up man with integrity. He doesn't have a foundation for it. He doesn't have rules or principles that he abides by. He abides by get it however you can get it. So he doesn't actually have that foundation that you're talking about. He doesn't have that to fall back on. So he can't do it.
All right. That sounds about right. Okay, next thing I wanted to bring up. Would I be remiss to say that it's a lot of this, like you say, all this game that's going on, all this con and all of this lying that's going on. Would I be remiss to say, or would I be wrong to say that, you know, a lot of guys are frustrated because some of the women are so confused. They don't know whether or not they're dealing with a nice guy or a guy that's really laying like that. And I'm speaking from experience, Jason. It have been some times where girls done tried to play with me, and then 5 months down the line, they done found out I done cracked 2 or 3 of their friends, and they like, oh, damn, you dangerous. My bad, I didn't know you was laying like that. Now they feet up hanging out with me like, I didn't think you was that kind of guy. And I'm just saying, like, do you think that
it's the dreads got him? Damn! So it's the dreads got him, bro. So when they see that right there, you know how them hoes are. So it's the dreads got him.
Hey, the lock. Ooh, I like your crown. I can't believe you got like it be the gimmick shit.
Yeah, dude, that's right there. It right. That check writes itself. You ain't gonna sell that. It sells itself, and you know it. So it sells itself.
But for real, Jason, speak on that. The women that get in these situations, and they be trying to play the real ones like the fake ones. It's like, hold on, you ain't feel that confidence off me that most women be feeling. Like, how are you confused at who I am? Don't you know I sleep with your mama?
Yeah, but here's the issue. What you're saying is that you don't feel that confidence. Here's the issue. The issue is that most males try to present a certain way. So remember, females see the world differently from us. The world for females is a different place than it is for us. So most men present a certain way. A smart female, especially through trial and error, she's had a lot of bad experience in her life. So she's got to test you to see if it's real or not. So they usually end up by default assuming that it's not real, or at the very least testing it, and that's smart to do. There's nothing wrong with that. That's intelligent to do. The problem is that most females are intrinsically dishonest with themselves. They will not say what it is they really want. So they also try to present to you a certain way, as if they don't want what they actually do, which is why I told you all, hey, there are no nice girls. So this is my response to what you just said. Brother, the problem with what you just said is that it assumes these are nice girls. This assumes these are good girls. And ain't no good girls. There's just varying degrees of bad. Some are a little bad, some are rotten to the core. But they're all bad girls. So for you to meet them with the assumption that she is a good girl, or even a good girl gone bad, or whatever spin you want to put on it, that's the mistake right there. And that does not mean that they are evil women, rotten women, or whatever. What I'm saying is that no female wants to be a good girl. There's a reason why every single female listening to you and me right now, brother, got a thong and a G-string somewhere. They did not make thongs for good girls. Come on, bruh. They did not make thongs for good girls. They did not make G-strings for good girls. She might be Lizzo built. She wants to be a bad girl. She does not want to be a good girl. Even if when she says she want to be a part-time, I want to be a freak in the sheets. You want to be a bad girl. That's what you want to be. Okay, for about 2 hours. Hey, that'll work. Okay, she wants to be a bad girl for 2 hours. That'll work. But I'm saying you be honest with yourself about what she really is and where she really is. Just don't lie to yourself. So when they meet you, they're trying to figure out how to thread this needle. A man cannot commit his future to a bad girl. Now there's the problem. You can't commit your future to a bad girl. You're not going to hand your children over to a bad girl. You're not going to do that. Not unless you hate your kids. So you see what the problem is. So she knows what she needs to do to get you to give that commitment. But by the same token, she also knows she wants to indulge this other thing. So how can she have her cake and eat it too? Some females are better at balancing that than others. That's what you're describing. Well, there are some who they figure it out. They're looking at me a certain way. They know the deal. And then there's others who don't. And then you're like, hey, baby, let me wake you up to who I am. So that's what you're dealing with right there. So there are no good girls. They're all bad to one degree or another. They're testing you to see what it is. They are not going to present you with what they actually want because they don't know if they can get it. They're not sure they can get it from you. You'll know when they're sure they can get it from you because they're either going to leave you or they're going to give you an ultimatum. That's when you're going to find out if she's decided you got it or if you don't. If she's certain you don't have it, she's leaving. If she's certain that you do, but you ain't gave it, here's the ultimatum. Well, you going to get, all right, nigga, it's a stick up. You going to give him here what?
You're right. Let me hit you with this one last question, Jason, and I think I'll go ahead and get out your hair, man. Jason, how do we fix it, man? It's like, God has blessed me to be tall and handsome, man, and gave me and I got the game. But it's like, dude, the guys like you and I would say I'm a mini micro version, and I found myself in a many of comments, a many of arguments, a many of conversations, telling women like I'm one of them ones, and that's why you responded to me. But the guys that don't have the courage, Jason, like, do we shout it? Do the guys like me keep doing what you doing, shouting it from the mountaintop? Because it's like, man, 300, we slashing this way, slashing that way, hoes over here. Dudes, just be honest. Like, how do we keep this going? How do we get this shit to tighten up a little bit more? Because Jason, it's tired. I don't know how you do it.
Well, bro, I mean, I got half a century of experience. And I just don't pretend that women are something they're not. That's all. If a man runs his head into a wall long enough, he just needs to admit to himself, hey, these other 10, 20 experiences were not flukes. They weren't all mistakes and there's a unicorn out there. No, this is the way they are. This is it. A female is not looking to do the same level of labor that you are. A female feels that she is privileged. A female has a natural physical inclination against chipping a nail. A female is looking to a certain extent to get something for nothing. Now, you can like it, you can dislike it, you can fight with it, you can be upset, you can be angry. A female is going to go looking for the path of least resistance to what she wants. But females also desire these contradictions. I want an honest thug and a thug with a heart and all this. So now you can get angry and bitter about it, or you can understand it and operate within the real world now that you know this. Or you can just get angry about it. So that's really what it is, bro. Either you, the reason why guys go black pill is because they're angry at female nature. And I'm just like, I'm not angry at it, I just understand it. Which is why my thing is, I don't have to sit up here and condemn them. I'm just going to say, okay, you have to be an honest hoe. You're not going to lie to me. I ain't hearing none of that. I'm going to demand that you be an honest one or you have to leave. I'm not going to make you leave because you're a hoe. I'm going to make you leave because you're a liar. Now, that's why you're going to be required to leave, because you looking a grown-ass man in the face and lying. As long as you straight, I'm going to deal with you straight. Now, dealing with you straight also means here's what you can actually get. It's just like, brother, if you go for a credit check or to buy a car or a house, you can't lie about your income. You can't lie about your credit score. Let's get your actual income. Let's get your actual credit score. And let me tell you the house you can actually get. Yeah, that $1 million one in Chino. Nah, let me see if I can get you back over here to Riverside. Let me see if I can get you over here and we do this instead, because that's the one you can actually get. Now, do you want a bank that's going to be honest with you, or do you want a bank that's going to sit here and trade lies with you? And there are plenty of fellas out there who'll trade lies with a chick for the rest of her life, brother. He'll trade lies with her till she dies.
There it is. I'm going to say this and I'm going to go ahead and jump off, Jason. I tell women all the time, especially when I meet them and I see the hole in them and they think they hiding it. And fellas, take notes on this. There's nothing wrong with whispering up close when ain't nobody around telling them, it's all right, baby. You can be as horrible as you want to be. The darkness, all of the scurviness you might have in you, just let me know when it's coming. And if you don't, just know I have a guard up enough to see it, but you can be as foul or as horrible as you need to be, as long as it don't infringe or hurt me. Yeah, go ahead, take off, Jason. You can take it from there.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, brother. We appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, I mean, look, the bottom line is just be honest about it. Ladies, you want the bag. Okay, that's fine. Say that. What you really want to say is that you want a fella who has a ton of sexual options but only has eyes for you. Fine. Say that. So that we can go ahead and let you know you lying to your damn self.
And deal with it, nigga.
Them fellas putting up all these memes on Instagram and whatnot. Okay, listen to them dudes lie. They come. Do you all notice they come in every shape and size? White, black, Latino, Spanish, American, Russian. There is a fella out there who will spin whatever lie you chicks want to hear. They'll put up videos of chicks walking out the stores with Louis Vuitton bags talking about how he does, he's queen and this, that, and the other. Okay, if you want to believe these garbage and these lies that that's what that somehow there's some aspect of males that's what they really are, okay, lie to yourself if that's what you really want to believe. There are plenty of old women out here who will let you know that you're just lying to yourself. That's not real. That's not a real thing. So why don't we have a real conversation about where you really rank and what you can really get? You're looking for Mr. Swagalicious. He's got a great sense of humor. He takes command of the room when he walks. Like, every chick is looking for Idris Elba with Dave Chappelle's sense of humor and Bill Gates money. Let's just go ahead and say that. That's what these women are looking for. These women are looking for Idris Elba with Dave Chappelle's sense of humor, Denzel Washington's sense of style, and Bill Gates money. That's what that is the prototype. That's the guy that women are looking for. They're looking for that guy right there. And I'm like, you know what? That's fine. That's wonderful. Yeah, that nigga don't exist. So let's talk about what's really going on. Okay, but here's the problem. When women talk to you, they don't say that. Now, when you break up with them, it's very clear that that was the undertone. But they don't just come out and say that's what they want. They don't say that. So you're not allowed to have an honest conversation about where she really ranks. I've said this here before. Women are going to look you in your face and lie to you here. They're not honest. She is not going to be honest with you, fellas. When she tells you that a G-Wagon is her dream car, nigga, she ain't lying. She means that. She really means that. What she's not telling you, what is implicit in that, but that she's not saying to you directly, is that you are not the man of her dreams if she doesn't see that physical confirmation. She's had this dream and ideal in her mind all this time. And if you cannot produce that, as far as she's concerned, her feelings tell her that that is proof that you're not really the guy. Now, she's not telling you any of this, but that's the reality. She's not telling you the truth that without this confirmation that I've been waiting on and dreaming of and fantasizing for all these years, you're not the guy. You're cool people. Yeah, but as far as that one is, oh, this is the one? Okay, yeah, you're not him. You're not him. You're not him. And there's where you're going to fall into trouble. She's not going to sit up here and tell you that directly. No, she's going to tell you this indirectly. When she's sitting with her friends and whatnot, fellas, too many males are concerned about getting some sex and they're paying zero attention to how she responds to things and responds to situations. Dude, she really means that. I mean, you don't want to hear it, but she really means that. Yeah, bro, when she told you that she liked that Aston Martin, she really means that. She's not joking. She really means that. And if you are not able to do that, you're going to have to figure out very quickly whether she's willing to leave this world without ever having that experience. Or are you going to tell yourself that you are enough? Now, if she really means I have no intention of leaving this world without a Louis Vuitton bag and a G-Wagon, bruh, she's either going to end up under somebody who has it or under somebody she thinks has it. Now, that's reality. Are you a grown enough man to accept that for what it is? Now, by the same token, ladies, most of y'all don't qualify for that.
Deal with it, nigga.
Let me just go ahead and say that. Most of you do not qualify for that, baby. You will spend the rest of your days looking and lusting, but it's not going to happen. You know why? Because a man needs to make about $500,000 a year to be able to do that stuff. In other words, you're looking for a level of labor and work, and he's looking at you like, hey, you're not you're not commensurate with the level of work that requires. Ladies, if he can live a life with you making $15 an hour, he's going to look at you and try to figure out if all this extra that you want, am I getting that much feminine value? Baby, you come rumbling through the door like Lizzo. Talking about a damn Bentley and a Louis Vuitton bag, and he's like, a Louis Vuitton bag? I don't think we can get that around that hoof of an arm you got. There's a lot of ladies don't want to accept that. How much work is a man supposed to do for a damn four? What? That's right, I'm yelling it because ain't nobody else telling it. Ladies, you want to know why Mr. Nice Guy gets over on you? Mr. Nice Guy gets over on you when you are unwilling to admit the level of labor and reward that you really deserve. You want to tell yourself that you are a perfect 10. It's like dudes tell every female she's a 10. There are sexual scavengers all over the damn place. How much work is a man supposed to do for a chick who's slept with 20, 30 dudes? And that's on the damn low end today. How much sacrifice is a man supposed to do? How great of a credit score is he supposed to have? How much income is he really supposed to make? How much labor is he supposed to put in to get that level of income so that he can fulfill all these fantasies that you ain't never going to be able to do? How much is he supposed to do that for a 4? And let's be clear about how you get to a 4. Ladies, if you are a perfect 10, you lose 4 to 6 points for every kid you got.
Deal with it, nigga.
So in other words, for you not to just immediately go to a 4, you got to be a perfect 10. Most females are coming through the door as a 8 or a 6. Okay, and here your damn problems and I need to go on vacation. You damn sure do. Get your Carnival cruise ticket. How much work and labor and sacrifice is a man supposed to do for a 4? For a chick with baggage? How much is he supposed to do? What are you telling yourself? She wants to have a 3,000 square foot house, and it's like, baby, look, has he been sitting his whole life dreaming of you being in it? And man, we together here. You want to have a 8 or 10 life, and you're not an 8 or a 10. He's not inspired. He's looking at your sexual rap sheet. You got felonies all over the damn place. It's looking like the Manson murders. And what I'm saying is that you're not looking for a man, you're looking for a fool. And all that guy is going to do is either mess you up or lie to you, and that's where you're going to be. Can we be honest about where you really going to get? No? Okay. Well, then go get lied to. Go ahead and do that. But this idea that you're going to sit up here and lie your way through things and, oh, let me see if we can do this and let me look for a productive simp. Let me go see if we can do that. And what y'all are finding out is that, baby, the game don't change. You can go looking for that productive simp and tell yourself that he's different and you'll have the upper hand because you're very angry and very bitter about the last 20 or 30 dudes who got over on you, or you feel you got over simply because they weren't as stupid as you told yourself they would be. Now you want to tell folk they got over on you and used you. No, they didn't. You were running game and they weren't as stupid and gullible as you hoped they would be. So now you're spinning a lie to anybody who doesn't know. Shout out to all the females who are moving around to different cities. Damn! Pay attention, Abba. You ain't got to like it. Time for you to get schooled up.
Join me, and I will complete your training.
You can ignore these things if you want to. Every time y'all turn around, there's a fella sitting up here making a YouTube video talking about, damn, that Jason was right. I was right about the nurses, right about the military, right about the good girls, right about the bad girls. And slowly but surely, the whole internet is adopting it now. Okay. Shout out to the chicks who move around from one city to another. See, here's the thing right here. They talk about females buying houses, and you're just digging yourself into debt. You know what else females do that men don't do? Get on airplanes. Let me tell y'all, fellas, these females, you want to know if your chick's a hoe? Oh, I'm going to hurt some feelings tonight. That's right, there she is landing at SEX Airport. She is landing at BBL Airport. That's what she doing. Fellas, I'm about to hurt some feelings tonight. You want to know if your chick's a hoe? Hey, fellas, I'm going to give you a tip tonight that you can use. And for the married men, I recommend you don't do this. What that song say? You don't want to know. Just let her keep it on the low. Hey, fellas, check and see how many airline websites your chick has logins for.
Nigga, what?
Oh, man, I'm about to hurt some feelings tonight. Especially those of you listening recorded. If you're listening live, you might be able to make it to her phone or her computer quick enough so you can go ahead and go check. Hey, fellas, check. If you got a girlfriend, check how many airline websites that she has logins for. Check her emails and just type in Southwest Airlines, Delta Air. If she lives in Atlanta, what's their hub? Delta's hub is in Atlanta. I want to say Delta's hub is Atlanta. United's hub is Chicago. American Airlines hub is Dallas. Southwest Airlines is either is Love Field in Texas, Love Field in Dallas, and Midway in Chicago. Like, damn, Jason, you know. Hey, fellas, check your broad and see if she's got logins. See if she's got emails from those various airlines. Spirit, rest in peace. Damn! Spirit Airlines, rest in peace. Frontier, Allegiant, Ryanair, JetBlue, for my folks up in New York. Fellas, if you want to know what the deal is with your chick, you want to know if she a flued out, man, my chat room went dead after I said that. Intervention! Oh, y'all, the chat room stopped moving after I said that. I said that about the airlines and the chat room froze. It's a bunch of niggas in here tonight re-examining their whole lives. It's a bunch of females right now going through their phone and their laptop deleting stuff.
Oh, please.
Man, look here. Y'all can go listen to any jackass out there pretending they know the game. Pretending they can take you exactly where you need to be. I'm telling you all right now, there's a bunch of fellas in here just learned a whole lot. I shouldn't be saying this on YouTube. I'm supposed to be saying this on my Patreon. I'm not supposed to be sitting up here boiling the cauldron on a Friday night. We was short last week. I got the cauldron fired up for just a minute. I ain't supposed to be doing this tonight. There's a whole bunch of chicks right now scrambling through their phone and scrambling through their damn laptop, trying to hurry up and delete them passwords and delete them entries. She like, oh, hell, this nigga listens to Jason Black. Damn. It's a whole bunch of chicks right now running through their laptops and running through their MacBooks. Fellas, you're going to have to do a search through an email. If you see them ticket numbers come up, nigga, it's going. If you see them tickets come up. Some of you fellas going to have to do a search through her emails. I'll be damned. Heifer, you didn't tell me you was ever on Ryanair. Wait a minute now. You Spirit to LA, Spirit to Orlando, Spirit to DC, Spirit to Chicago. 2015. When was you on Spirit Airlines to Chicago in 2015? It's going to be a bunch of fellas about to learn a whole lot tonight and tell me why Fresh and Fit and your red pill gurus did not give you a very simple thing right there. They go for big stuff like, oh, if she knows how to open up the door on a Rolls Royce or something. How many of y'all ever had a damn Rolls Royce? You want to know if your chick get flued out? It's very simple, dude. Go ahead and check through the damn email. You know why? Because these females have had way more sexual experiences than the men. They started having sex sooner. They had sex with people who were older. By the time y'all are 25, you done slept with 3 females in your adult life. She slept with 12 males. Okay. These females, quiet as kept. Nobody wants to be honest and just admit, hey man, these chicks are having a whole lot more experiences than the males are. Let's stop treating that like that's a stereotype. It is a numerical, mathematical, statistical fact. These chicks get flued out or fly themselves out. They learn all the procedures. They know which airlines to go for a quick trip. They know the airlines that got the best baggage fees. They know the airlines for the best cities, and they've tried an array of them. They've tried a variety of the different airlines, and then they eventually will settle on 1 or 2, depending on the type of trip she wants to take. Fellas, there's a reason why they don't have to ask you nothing. These women know the airlines and their schedules and their policies and procedures better than any man in here. I promise you. Fellas, that's why you need to just shut up. When it's time for her to come out with something, you shut up and say nothing. I promise you she'll put it all together on her own. And that's how you know. She ain't new to this, nigga. She ain't no rookie. She ain't no rookie. I got grown men in here talking to females in their damn 30s, and this nigga acting like she's a rookie. Oh, she ain't like that, Jason. I'm like, okay, let me check this. Have an email for you right quick, nigga. Let me check her email for you right quick. Since you don't believe fat meat's greasy. Let me go ahead and jump over here on Zoom right quick. Let me get cry spells, I guess. Cry spells, please make sure you have everything turned off for me. There you go. All right, cry spells, what's on your mind? Cry spells is using the Zimbabwe broadband. Okay, cry spells, you are freezing up here, so I don't know if the Starlink is not working in the refugee camp. What? Okay, cry spell stuff is not working here. I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room here and see if you can get that dial up to do a little bit better. See if we can get that to do a little bit better. In the chat room, Andrew, who is Andrew speaking about there? Who's lying, Andrew? Let me find out who's lying, Andrew. Let me find out who's lying, Andrew. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of fellas tonight. Your whole damn world got blown up. There's a whole bunch of fellas here right now. You better not go looking through that phone, and you better not go searching through her emails. You better not go back through her emails. You better not. You about to see a whole bunch of cities you don't recognize. There's a whole bunch of fellas here tonight. They about to run into a whole bunch of cities and a whole bunch of destinations that they were not previously aware of. You like, well, she wasn't coming to see me, but she was racking up them frequent flyer miles. Why in the world did I just blow up the internet like that? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Yeah, folks think they want to know the real truth, and they talk to a bunch of clowns who don't know anything and don't know how to decipher, hey, here's the clues you really need. I can clear this up for everybody real quick. Shout out to the chicks out there who jump from one city to another. You move around all over the damn place because because you're pursuing a career.
Oh, please.
Y'all, when a chick is a nurse and she ain't scared to cross international borders, nigga, you know what's up. You got a chick, she's done lived in 3 of the biggest cities in America. Ain't nobody looking for a job that damn long. In the chat room, Andrew needs to give me a call up on Zoom. Andrew needs to call up on Zoom here. So let's go ahead and get Andrew up here on Zoom so he can explain to everybody why players are lame. He needs to give us a call so he can explain to all of us why players are lame, since he is not lame. So glad. We want to hear from an expert in the field. He is not lame. So he can explain to us why he is not lame and the players are. So he can let us know what category is not lame. Since he's not a lame, he can let us know what category he's in. And he can explain to all of us why players are lame, but folk like him are not lame. So we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, the females who jump from one damn city to another, the internet used to argue with me about this. Nobody argues anymore. You know why? Because there's enough niggas that got their hearts broke. Now they can't afford to lie anymore. Talking about she just works remote. She just wants to see the world. Hell no, you trashed your damn rep in the city you was in. You done went from multiple cities and trashed your damn reputation in multiple cities. That's what the hell happened. You done got run through and ragged through in multiple cities, and now they done run your ass out of town because the men that you really desire, all of them done had they whack at you. Now that all of them have had a whack at you, now you like, oh, time to uproot. Let me go see what's cracking in Houston. Let me see what's happening in Albuquerque. Ooh, let me see what's happening in Seattle. Now, when you got a female moving to a place like Seattle, do you realize population median in America stops in Memphis, Tennessee, from the East Coast to Memphis, Tennessee? If she jumps all the way from the East Coast to the other side of the damn nation, nigga, she on the run. She's on the run. She wants to go someplace that her past can't find her. That's what she wants to do. She wants to go someplace that her past is going to have difficulty catching up. So you meeting a chick who she all the way from somewhere else. Fellas, if a female is more than 100 miles from her hometown, nigga, she's running a scam. Stop deceiving yourself. If you met a chick and she's more than 100 miles from her hometown, unless she's just like from some small rural area where ain't no money, if she moved from one big city to another big city, dude, she's trying to get away from all them dudes who was sweating on her. She's trying to go someplace where them dudes can't sit up here and put her business out. That's what she's trying to do. And ladies, you know I'm telling the damn truth. It'll be very few females who are willing to admit that that's a real thing. Most females will lie and just be quiet. Very few females will be willing to admit that that's they get down. Now, Los Angeles is another place for all them refugees. You got a chick from the East Coast end up in LA, she's running from her past. All right, Crossbells, we got you up here on Zoom. What is on your mind?
I want to say hi, and I like your broadcast, and thank you so much. It's very funny, and you're very smart. Thank you. I had a crush on you, but bye.
All right. Send your side chick application.
Damn!
Y'all know me. It just it fall in your lap. It fall in your lap. It's I got like Uber Eats. It delivers itself.
Nigga, what?
It just delivers itself. I just sit here. So I'm trying to get away from it. I'm trying to get away from it. My damn self. It's just it be chasing me around. I'm just sitting here. Come on, Jason, I see you in there. I hear you. All right. Shout out to all my ladies out there, by the way. Shout out to all my ladies, all my fans, all my stans. It's Friday night. You're in a dark room. The incense is burning. The candles are going. The baritone is baritoning.
Damn!
I ain't mad at you. Let's have an orderly progression. The line forms to the left.
What?
Line forms to the left. Line forms to the left. Shout out to all my chicks out there bouncing from one city to another, trying to get their damn life together. Shout out to you out there. We see you. Let's just be straight about it. Let's just be straight about it. Let's be straight about exactly how it's going. Let's go ahead and have that. Let's have that. No, they want us to sit up here and play damn games. I'm like, okay, baby, you ain't the damn Harlem Globetrotters. If you move from Chicago to Charlotte, it's okay. Or you move from Charlotte to Chicago. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hello, Kimberly. I don't know why she's fighting so hard to be seen. Hello. Better not be a bot.
What?
Nigga, I ain't got to pay nothing here. I'm not the IRS. I don't hand out W-2s. I ain't got to sell this stuff. It sells itself. For real. Oh, yeah, and one more thing, and this is after me letting y'all know. By the way, I'm not a one-woman man.
Damn!
By the way, that's what happened after I said that. You ain't got to lie to kick it. Niggas lie because that's who you are. You lie because that's your character or lack thereof. You lie because you have to. The truth is a nigga ain't got a player don't have to do that. Let me say that differently. A man doesn't have to do that. A man who is solid and know what he got, he ain't got to lie. But you see, when you're desperate, you can't afford for any female to say no. So you don't want to say exactly what it is because you're scared she's going to say no. I'm like, all it does is thin the damn herd. Some will say yes, some will say no, but you're never going to go home empty. Unless you're the lame who knows, hey, he used to going home empty. Ooh, better start lying. No, tell them the damn truth. The other thing is that, by the way, females respect a man who tells the truth. I did not say they like you. I said they respect you. She respects the fellow who says, this is the life over here. It ain't for everybody. This is where I'm really at, and this ain't for everyone. This is an exclusive product. This might not be for you. Contact your doctor if Cialis is right for you.
What? Damn!
That's the kind of conversation that you can't afford to have if your strategy is, let me just lie and see who I can deceive. Let me just go ahead and do that. See, there's the stupid part about it right there. Dude, you've been a hell of a whole lot better off just letting them know what it is. We're not going to go around and sneak broads pregnant. If she wants the damn baby, that's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to dangle that forever. She's supposed to be forever chasing that baby, and you're supposed to be forever denying it. That's what it's supposed to be. You know why? Because that's what a woman actually wants. A woman wants the unattainable. You know what makes you a really stupid lame is she wants to get pregnant and off you drop it. Women are looking for the man that says, oh, no, baby, you got to work for this. The fellas who go off and get them pregnant, y'all are fighting in the damn streets the very next damn week. Ain't that right, Stephon Diggs? Him and Cardi B already back into it. All hands up, didn't see that coming. If you have what she wants, you're supposed to dangle that. She wants the baby. Okay, she's supposed to desire that. She doesn't want you to actually give it to her. She wants to desire it. If you give it to her, she can no longer desire it because now she has it. And as Kevin Spacey said in, what was that, American Beauty? Once you have something that you desire, you cannot desire it anymore. So if she wants your baby, she's supposed to be ravenous about that. And you're supposed to understand that, and that's supposed to be the end of it. Women don't want a damn man who just throws everything on them. You complain about the guy, he's a bad guy. Why? Because he didn't bend over and kiss her ass and simp to her and throw everything at her damn feet? Hell no, he's communicated to her there's value. Women are looking for the man who's going to say no at a certain point. She sees what he's got, it's available, but he's willing to say no. And so she's like, wait a minute, am I not good enough? Now she's like, okay, I'm going to prove that he's going to drop this off to me. All these other men fell under my spell. I am going to prove that this male is going to fall under my spell too. And now let the game begin. Oh, I'm hurting feelings here tonight. The ladies are going to be really upset because they don't want to hear this. It's a game. Why do you think they call it the game? And you're supposed to be a player in the game, which is where the vernacular comes from. It's a game. Are you a player in the game? Women want a game. Women want a chase. Women want you to cycle through their emotions. Oh, the ladies, no sense in getting upset. Let's have a damn honest conversation. The real issue is, have you chosen a man who's worth playing the game with? Why do you think 50% of marriages end in divorce? Because that's the females restarting the game.
And deal with it, nigga.
Why is it your red pill gurus and the rest of these folk out here talking about divorce never said those words to you all before tonight? Shout out Attorney James Sexton. Why is it you're afraid to tell the truth I just did right there? When a female wants to shut men down, she starts saying, y'all got to marry me. You got to marry me. I ain't going to be just dating you forever. You got to marry me. And as soon as she gets married, when they get divorced, what's the first thing they say? I don't need no man like that. I'm perfectly happy by myself. Well, I'll be damned. Is this the same female? It sure is. Women want the game. But they want the game with the man who is worth playing it with. Which is why for you got to get married. For Michael B. Jordan and Idris Elba, the same chick who's sitting up here telling you tonight that you better marry her or she's never going to speak to you again, she will sit there with Michael B. Jordan and Idris Elba and Denzel Washington for the rest of his life and just be his chick. And you know it. Now, why is it they're not, if that's really what she wants in her heart of hearts, and if she's really that serious about it, why is it you know for a fact she would never demand that of them? She would sit right there with them and be cheesing for the rest of her damn days so long as she got a slot. Now, why is that? Women aren't going to tell you this. Because she knows that if she says that, every guy is going to try to play the game. Yeah, but most men are not worth playing the game with. But the truth is, women want a game. They want a sport. You can say challenge, but I would say challenge does apply. I'm not going to say it doesn't. Although if I could articulate it better, I would say they want a game. They want a game. Sometimes you want the game to be on easy mode. Other times when you've learned too much, you may want to step up your challenge level for it and step up the difficulty. But at the end of the day, she wants to play a game with someone who's worth playing it with. That's why you got to play with real chips. I'm not supposed to say this tonight, damn it. I'm not supposed to be saying none of this. The internet, YouTube is not supposed to hear this. YouTube is not supposed to hear this. Now all these other fakers and whatnot on their corny ass YouTube channels, all your red pill folk are going to start hearing them be like, damn, like everything else they've ripped off from me. This is going to get incorporated into it. They're going to first try to ignore it, and then when they realize, you're screwing up because this is true, you can actually use it. All right. There they go. When you're playing the game, folks, you're playing with real money and real chips. Those are the most exciting games. The most exciting games, listen to me, the most exciting games have real consequences. The most exciting games have real concrete consequences. Real wins and real losses. Real rewards and real liabilities. Those are the most exciting games, is when you're playing with real money for real stakes. A baby is real money and real stakes. A car is real money and real stakes. A house is real money and real stakes. You want to know why females want handbags? Fellas, I've explained this to you before. Your gurus out there never told you because they didn't know. Let me remind you again. The reason why women want that is very simple. Because for females, a handbag bought by you is a trophy.
And deal with it, nigga.
Why does she want the handbags? For the exact same damn reason that you want a moose head or something. The reason why you as a man want shoes, those are trophies. This is the handbag that I got from this NFL player. This is the handbag that I got from this NBA player. This was my first Chanel bag. This was my first Hermes. Women are not going to explain this to you, fellas. They don't want you to know this because that's the game. These are trophies. These are my first red bottoms. These are the red bottoms that I got from this baseball player over here. These are the red bottoms I got during that one night stand with Shaquille O'Neal. What? These are females' trophies. You don't recognize it because as a man, that doesn't have value to you as a trophy, but it does have value to females. The shoes, the handbags, they're very easily collected and transportable. She can show them. All they do is primp and preen with them. Yes, she's showing off her trophy. Now, as a man, if it were a WWE heavyweight belt or a UFC heavyweight title belt, you would recognize that trophy more easily. For you, that's a trophy. Well, guess what? This is a trophy for her. When you got that Bentley, that Maybach, that Aston Martin, that Ferrari, that McLaren, that was your masculine trophy. This is her feminine trophy. That's why it matters. Okay, but guess what? Just like any good game, she can go ahead and put quarters back in and start playing again. Now she's going to want to ratchet up the odds here. She's going to want to increase the challenge level here. He got me a Chanel. Let me see if we can get a Louis Vuitton. Let me see if we can get a Prada. Let me see if we can get that Hermes. So every time she comes back, she's going to be increasing the level. That's the game spinning up all over again. These women can never be satisfied because the game doesn't end. So you see, that's what motivates her. If you make it harder for her to do that, now she's going to have to get herself together so that she qualifies for it. So yes, she wants that challenge. She wants that difficulty, assuming that you are worth playing the game with. If you can't actually accomplish or acquire any of these trophies, you're not worth playing the game with. And if you're a guy who's not considered a trophy, you're not worth playing the game with. And all of them are playing. Fellas, all these females are playing, including yo woman.
What? Damn!
There's a bunch of married fellas in here right now telling themselves that their woman ain't playing. She's not playing the game, Jason. And I'm just letting you know, hey, every man who's in divorce court thought his woman was done playing the game. Every man who ever got marched into a divorce court like a prisoner being taken to the gallows, every man in divorce court thought that his wife was done playing the game too. Over 50% of marriages in divorce, every man in that divorce court getting ready to get hit with alimony, child support, and every damn thing else she about to do, he thought she was done too. Yeah, he thought the same thing. Now I got a bunch of fellas in here right now who are divorcees, and 100% of them will testify, yeah, she wasn't done. She's like, let me get back out here in these streets and cash you out, and I'm back on the block. Now, are you man enough to accept that that's the reality? She does not want to be a good girl. She wants to be a bad girl. She wants to have the trophies. She wants to have the challenge. She wants to prove that to herself. She wants to prove she's better than her sisters that she grew up with. She wants to prove she's better than her co-workers. So she can't sit down. And she wants to prove that she still got it. And if you've done something along the way that has offended her, she also wants to prove that she's got leverage over you. Welcome to the game. You don't get to decide whether you in it or you not. If you're walking this earth, you're in the game. You're in it. Some folk been losing so long, they sitting there in the damn stands. It's just like you don't realize you got a jersey on, you're just losing. It's like playing for the Denver Nuggets. I mean, you can sit anywhere in the arena you want to.
Damn!
Okay, well, you're in the game. I mean, your team ain't winning, but you are here. You actually are. Yes, nice guys. The so-called nice guys are I don't even want to say sophisticated liars. They're just liars. They think that they found some alternative strategy where they deny it. And, oh, I'm totally different from these other guys. So they say it loud and proud so everybody can hear them. I'm not like these other guys. I'm totally different. Look at me. Look at me. I'm not like them. And what do women always find out? He's even worse. He's even worse. There's where you get in trouble. If you make yourself a person who has an appetite for being lied to and an appetite for tolerating the presence of people who are so obviously lying, that's what you're going to end up with. I want the fellas out here, you might think of yourself as a good, honest, decent, law-abiding citizen. You can say that if you want to. That's great. That's grand. That's wonderful. But you're not fooling anybody. You're only saying that because you haven't had the opportunity to act on it yet. So you're telling folks what you wouldn't do. Hell no, you wouldn't do it because you've never had the chance to do it. But if you ever actually got your shot, if you ever actually had your chance, if you ever actually were in a situation where you had that type of selection and variety and chicks are sliding in your DMs and you actually have an opportunity to act on it, that's a different matter. And what you find out is most of these guys would. All right, let's go ahead and jump up here on Zoom again. Let me get Mike up here on Zoom for me here. Mike, what's on your mind? Turn on your microphone, sir. At least I think it needs to be on. If you're on headphones or something, we can't hear you. Okay, unmute yourself. Okay,
you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now. Go ahead.
All right. I want to ask you, a liar, like how Abba is, and when you talking about the guys that are lying, is this just another version of a simp?
Yes. Yes.
All right, cool.
You understand, being a simp does not mean you don't get women. That's not what being a simp is. Being a simp, you qualify as a simp based on how you go about your interactions with women. So you can be a simp who's swinging for the fences and never hits anything. You can also be a simp who has intermediate access, and you may be a simp who has frequent access, but we got to put an asterisk next to that because the way you go about it taints it. And so a lot of guys be like, yeah, do I really want it this bad? Do I really want it like this? Because getting women is not just the thing, it's how you get them. That matters too. How you get anything in life. It's not just getting stuff in life, it's how you get it. Because all money ain't good money.
Okay. And I want to ask another question. This might sound funny, but someone like Abba and those guys like him who seem to have a lot of leverage when it comes to how they deal with women, do you think it's like a nature versus nurture thing? And what I mean by that, you think he just doesn't have any experience with women, or you think it's more like they're just in his blood, I guess, DNA type of thing?
What males are going to have to do in the 21st century is going to have an honest conversation about the classes of men out here. And a recognition that there are a lot of males out here who harbor animosity towards other men. Because when they were kids, they were maybe the bookworms in class, maybe the geeks, maybe they were socially awkward, they had quirky senses of humor. So they might not necessarily be nerds or geeks, but they had a quirky sense of humor. You were watching Seinfeld or whatever. Things like that. You wanted anime, manga, so you might have been socially awkward or maybe socially misaligned. And as a result, through your formative years, you're harboring resentment towards other males. So it's not just the guys who played football or whatever, it's the guys who fit in better. You know, like a Dave Chappelle or a Kevin Hart. No, they weren't athletic necessarily, but they could fit in. They had a social rapport and repertoire that was superior to yours. So females, he wasn't an athlete, but females responded to him because of that. He had good social skills and you didn't. A lot of these fellas grow up and they're resentful of other men. You had it easier. You got along with them better. The fact that it wasn't so hard for you, they resent you for it. They resent males in general. So when they've gotten older, now their task is to undermine everybody. It's because they're just carrying resentment. You see a lot of this among politicians, lawyers, judges, police officers. You take a look through your society is not run by the alphas, it's run by the betas and the lames, in reality. And they harbor a lot of resentment towards other men. So this is a conversation that nobody's really talking about because they don't know how to have it. I'm the only person who said it and still continues to say it. And when you take a look on these YouTube channels and stuff, I'm just telling you, these guys a lot of these fellows who are able to amass an audience, in reality, they carry resentment for other men. So watch how they talk about other men when they're constantly into it with other people, constantly going back and forth, constantly tearing folk down, constantly attacking and stuff. You call it clickbaiting, but I'm like, listen a little bit carefully. You'll probably notice that they're a lot more going at the men than they ever do with the women. When they're indicting males' behavior, they'll pick one guy like a Stephon Diggs, but are they indicting Stephon or are they indicting, quote, the behavior? Because like with Abba, oh, y'all getting them pregnant, all this abortion stuff. And in reality, you find out it was more than that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It seems like guys like him, they have the leverage. When I'm saying like lack of experience, like he doesn't have to lie.
What leverage are you referring to?
Well, I would say like perceived leverage, mean like he has the money, he has the status, he has clout. So all that is, I would see it as leverage with women, but he doesn't use it. I would see.
Okay, well, it would depend on what you mean by that. Because here's the thing, without me going too deep into it and whatnot, it would depend on what you mean. Because we don't really have confirmation of that. And these females in particular, I'm not really sure. Obviously, this is a lot of DM work going on here. Because I said from the very beginning, I found it to be interesting that they didn't mention how they met. And I think it came up later. They met on Instagram and whatnot. So, okay, it's a lot of DM work going on there. The real issue is, who are the females who are doing this? What is their agenda? What are they after? What kind of person are they? And the fact that you see how these women are acting out, I'm telling you, that's telling you who they are. That's showing you the kind of person that's responding to what he does. So what I'm saying is that what it says is that he attracts sneaky people. He attracts sneaky women with vindictive ways. That's the energy that responded to him. Sneaky and vindictive.
You would say he's sneaky as well. It's coming out, right? So maybe it's a kindred spirits type of thing.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's the game. I said this the last time I talked about this. That's the game there. Like a game recognized game, and they like that about each other. Hey, you're sneaky just like me. Hey, you're vindictive just like me. And that's the type of energy they respond to. So it's like these chicks who go around fighting their boyfriends all the time. They're looking for a guy who does that. A fella who wouldn't is too lame. You're not exciting enough. So she's looking for a guy who's going to give her feedback and get into it with her and go back and forth. As stated, he's still contacting these chicks really up until now.
Yeah.
He's still messaging them and still calling them.
Yeah, he said he's would talk to her the other day on his last video.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, he's still doing it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right, so that shows you this is not a fluke. I'm not making it up. I'm not exaggerating. Those are the kind of, they recognize that about him. That's why they contacted him. They're the same kind of people.
Yeah, that when she said, he said that he found out she had another Instagram while they were dating, and she refused to give him the other Instagram. Like, I would have been done with her at that point, or at least I wouldn't have took her serious to be in a relationship, but he kept dating her. So that was crazy. That was crazy right there.
Well, I'm not sure if that's exactly the way it went down. What I do know is that he was aware of it. And what I'm saying is that it's a little late now to blow the whistle on that, because if you were aware of that, and that didn't change a whole lot until you want to set her out. That didn't change anything. The other thing is, there's no way that she was acting like that and there was just an Instagram out there and everything else is poly purebred. That ain't the way it goes, bro. That's not the way that goes. That second Instagram page, that tells you, do you realize how she wasn't responding with a bot? She was responding herself. That means during the day she was doing that. That's what I'm saying is she wasn't with you all the time and she wasn't talking to you all the time like that. And I guarantee you weren't the only guy she was speaking on the phone with. And you know this because they had a long distance relationship. I'm not doubting that. What I am saying is that all the clues are there. If he or anybody else tries to pass this off like she was poly purebred and everything was great and wonderful and she's just driven snow. No, that's not the case. It's typical IG chick. And that's what he responded to because he doesn't get that kind of response from those kind of chicks like that. And she knew it. And the whole thing was he was supposed to get sprung and he really did. But then she changed her mind about having a kid if she was ever pregnant in the first place. I'm pretty sure she was pregnant. I just question whether or not it was his. What? Damn! I'm sure she was pregnant, but I got questions about whether or not it was his.
It was his or not. Yeah, that's crazy. So I guess it was quote unquote struggle love. So I guess this is basically a teacher moment because it's an all villains cast, I guess.
Yeah, I want to teach you a moment for all of you to recognize what it is. My issue is not that he flip-flopped the broads. My issue is not anything he did except the lying part. That part right there, that dirties up the game, that degrades everyone. It is beneath manhood. It is beneath contempt. You don't have to do this kind of scummy garbage and undermining other men and claiming you're totally different, as opposed to saying, hey, I like it too, but the rest of you fellas is hogging them and it makes it hard for me because I feel some kind of way. As opposed to just saying, hey, bruh, it's a game we all playing and keep it Macish. That would have been honorable. But if you don't have the character to do that, you don't respond that way. So why don't we just say it for what it is and be okay with it? At that point, he would really be blameless right now if he had done that.
Yeah.
He'd be blameless. Now, getting them pregnant is a different matter. You got to hold that L. You got to hold that L if you did that. But other than that, if he had just been straight up from the middle, these chicks would look stupid. It's like, hey, baby, you knew what you was getting. You knew what you were getting. It's like them chicks with Future. You can't come back and say a damn word to us. You was Stephon Diggs, baby. That's Stephon Diggs. You know what the hell you getting. So you look stupid and crazy talking like that. So the best they could do is probably try to lie on him and make up a charge or something, because that's the only thing you would have left. My beef is the same one I always said. Hey, man, you're lying. You're lying on other men and claiming you're different or that you don't want what the rest of the guys want. That was his whole shtick is, oh, I don't want what these other guys want. He wants it. Now you find out he wanted it 5 times more.
Yeah. I think he could have been honest with his audience. Like his audience,
No.
I think he was just honest.
No.
I think they would have.
No.
He didn't have to be like a red pill, but he could have been more straightforward with his audience. I believe.
No.
You don't think so?
No. Derek Jackson doesn't lie to the women for nothing. He lies to that female audience because they want to be lied to.
Yeah.
He's not selling them something they don't want. He's selling the market exactly what he wants. So they would not listen if he told them something different. He didn't cultivate the audience because they wanted something different. They cultivated the audience because they want to be lied to. They want to hear that, and they want to hear it from a guy. So there is a segment of the population that wants to hear that nonsense, even though they all know they're lying. Hey, let's all sit here and lie and pass this around to each other. That happens in politics all the time. Take a look at MAGA. Take a look at Democrats. People sit there and make institutions and groups where they lie to each other's face knowingly all the damn time.
Yeah. Derek Jackson, he was obvious with his lie. That was just, and like the guys on social media, when people were listening to Derek Jackson at his height, like the men were just laughing at the women like, this is obvious a lie.
Yeah, I mean, there were no men listening to Derek Jackson and saying, damn, bro, thanks for gaming me up. I can change my ways. So the women were his audience. There were no men who were saying, hey, I listen to Derek Jackson, and ladies, I'm going to change what I'm doing because of what he said. So that's what shows you that he was irrelevant and useless. If you're a woman listening to him, the problem is there are no men listening to him. So the only thing you can do is be a woman lusting after Derek because he's the only male in the room. And that's exactly what it was. Now we find out, yeah, that's exactly what it was. He's sitting there with his wife and his children and said, damn that wife and damn them kids. Let me get down here to Miami and do what it do. Cameras rolling, pictures, everything. He couldn't even contain himself anymore. You realize how long he was sitting on that? He was sitting on that repression for so long. Oh, what did he do? He was getting chicks pregnant. What? Abortions.
Yeah, I think he got tired of lying. He was lying so much. I think he got tired of it.
Yeah, he was getting chicks pregnant, getting abortions and stuff, the same damn thing. So every one of these guys who has said that, the truth is always there. It's like, oh, dude, come on. Come on. You are one unhappy, bitter chick away from your spot getting blown up about that. Just be honest about it. So all the fellas who say they're different, they're 10 times worse.
So what are the women hoping for? Because it's obvious these are liars and they just holding on to it. So what is like the women's end game? Do they think they're going to find something like that?
The problem with the internet is that the internet has become, in many people's minds, socially influenced. So people have come to the conclusion that if they say something long enough, loud enough, consistently enough, that it will change the environment. And in many ways it does. I mean, you do see that happen. If something happens online, it bleeds over into the society in general. So there is an element of truth to that. So they are hoping that if they bully you long enough, if that enough of them say it long enough and bully you long enough, you'll knuckle under. Now, the problem is, as we've noticed over the last 10 years, it's actually been the opposite. You know, it's been the opposite, but it's when the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So they are hoping that if they push this line long enough, if they can find a good enough mascot, then hopefully he will get this over the finish line and the rest of you will knuckle under and they can finally have their productive simp paradise where they can want you and hate you and exploit you and use you and desire you, but dog you, you know, kind of like pornography. Men may like a chick who's XXX rated, but you would never marry her. You never marry her. You don't really want her. You don't want to be seen with her. So yeah, she does great things in them flicks, but you don't respect her as a person. Now, she'll be your first phone call when you want some XXX rated. But beyond that, you don't even respect her as a female, as a person. And that's the situation they're trying to make for men. That you get used, you get exploited. They don't like you. They don't respect you, but they need you. So we'll exploit you. And we'll get a mascot who hopefully will get the rest of you in line. And it's not working, but it's what they want.
Yeah, I was saying, like, that's why they were so mad at Klay Thompson. They thought he was going to be, like, carry them another few years. And they like, dashed.
No, they thought they found Russell Wilson II. Yeah. They thought they were just desperately hoping that somebody after Ciara would be able to pull it off to prove that, okay, if this hoe was good enough for Klay Thompson and y'all like him, don't you? Well, he should be good enough for you too. And that's the bullying I'm talking about, what you just said. The women they didn't give a damn about Klay Thompson. They didn't know what team he was on. They didn't know what sport he was in. All they knew is you fellas like him. I heard you fellas like him. Well, guess what? He took a hoe and the rest of you need to take a hoe too. And you ain't even y'all ain't even Meg the Stallion. We got a bunch of chicks out here who are nowhere near Meg the Stallion. If she's your cup of tea, she's not mine. She's a strong 6. Well, I shouldn't say a strong 6. She's a weak 6. But, I mean, do what you do. I'm not dissing her. But that was the game. In their minds, you men need to stop complaining about hoes because we all hoes. And if it's good enough for Klay, y'all need to shut the hell up and just take it. And by him doing what he did, it just showed, yeah, y'all are lying to yourselves. All y'all got is Ciara, and she's over there miserable. That was why that was such a defeat.
Yeah, they were mad about that, man. It was crazy,
and they still are. From Jada Pinkett to Meg Thee Stallion, they're trying to get us to give them all amnesty for the hoe era. That's what they're trying to do. And they don't care whether it's Derek Jackson, Barack Obama, or whatever. Can we get a mascot or a cheerleader or a spokesperson who is going to bully you all into giving us amnesty for the hoe era so that we can all have a soft landing? That's the goal right now that's underway.
So they don't even want to put the effort in, I seem like.
No, this is about getting something for nothing. Remember, when you're discussing contempt requires exploitation, brother. So this is not about getting you to accept them. This is about dominating you and getting you to accept them in the grimiest way. You're going to take them warts and all. Everything you said you wanted, you're going to give that up. You are going to give this up and you're going to take Lizzo. That's what you're going to do. So remember, it's not just about you winning. It's not just about them winning. It's about how they win. It's not a satisfying win if they cannot get you to accept it. Yep, I'm with a hoe and, let me get these kids piled up in here. I'm just going to get it up. It's not worth it to them unless they get that last part. So for Meg Thee Stallion, it's not worth it if I can't get you to accept Tory Lanez and everything else that came with it. It's not worth it if I can't do that. That's the part they're looking for. Young Miami, same thing. It's not worth it to them if they can't get that last part where you know what you're getting. Yeah, you were there with Diddy with the freak offs, Cassie, and we just won't talk about that. Okay, that's fine, just so long as you know who she is, you know what she did, and at the end of the day, if we can just get you to accept her, you're accepting it, and that's it. She won. Well, Jason, what's that about? It's about all the guys who came before. Remember what Ciara and the rest of them said. Ciara is winning because the guys before Russell said, you ain't never going to get another Future. And ain't nobody going to want you with this damn kid by Future. So what have they been trying to do ever since? Prove to all of you who came before that was wrong. So Russell Wilson can't just date Ciara. He got to be holding up Future Jr. and walking around the damn training camp with him. Yeah, does it make that? Now you see, this is a humiliation ritual. Yeah, that's what it is. It's not, and she hasn't won until she gets to do you like that. Now she feels like she's gotten even with the guys before you.
I don't know if too many dudes gonna do a Russell Wilson, because I know that show Divorce Court, and all these men that get on the internet talking about they play stepdad and raised a kid, and as soon as they graduated high school or college, the wife divorced them, and I don't see too many men doing that stuff anymore. So these women are angry and desperate. They're very angry. You could tell just in the way they talk.
Right, but the deceptive part about it, though, is that they're not going to say this to you directly. So if you are not here and being versed in deciphering what the real goal is, and maybe you can ask some different questions that get them to expose what the real goal is. Once you get that, yeah, you become very clear-eyed and very disenchanted. You sure do. And you should be. Now, if you want to take a hoe, if you want to wife up a single mom and her 4 kids, if you want to sit up here and take the size 22 female, I'm not saying to a single guy listening to me right now that you cannot or you should not. I wouldn't advise it, but do whatever you want to do. The only thing I'm demanding is that everybody be honest about what the hell we're actually doing here. Do not tell me that you're getting the same deal the rest of us are. Do not tell me that it's the same quality, because that's a damn lie. Tell the truth. You just said, hey, this is the best I could do. Okay, say that. Say that right there. Say that this is the best you could do. Say that she was the flyest thing you ever had. Say that she was down in her luck and she just said, okay, let's make a deal. Say that. Go ahead and say that so we can all be honest about what you're actually doing and what you actually agreed to. And okay, we'll go from there. We'll go from there, but don't try to sell us that you're getting the same clean deal that everybody else is. No, you're not. This is a lie. You're getting a bad deal. You're compromised. And if you actually had your druthers, you wouldn't do this. But you're defeated. And so this is what you could qualify for after your defeat. Let's just be honest and say that.
That's crazy. But I think Kevin Samuel said, get a dog and die alone. And I guess the women that have spoken, they'd rather just die alone than to quote unquote settle.
Okay, I told you all for years, please stop saying that nonsense. That was never a threat. I said that back then. Who you fooling? Buy a dog and die alone. Okay, that sounds cute, but that's not a threat to women. And I explained it to you all. That's not a threat to them any more than it's a threat to you, brother. Tell me, when was the last time these females badgering you and nagging you about Derek Jackson ever made you say, well, you know what, I guess maybe I need to listen to Derek because he got a point?
Never.
Thank you. So it doesn't matter how slick the slogan or how witty the slogan is. Women nagging you never made you feel like you needed to alter what you were doing. Broke, dusty, this, that, and the other. That never made you say, well, let me go triple X my income. That didn't do it. Now, something else may have done it, but a woman nagging you never made you say, I need to make 3 times my money I'm making because I don't want to be thought of as dusty and broke. That's not what did it. If you did make that change, something else did that. Well, fellas, it's the same thing with women. Threatening them with a dog or a pet that they already got, that's not a threat. Your nagging isn't going to change their behavior. They hear you, they hear the nagging, but if they do alter what they're doing, it's not because you came up with some slogan. That's not, your nagging isn't going to do it. It's something else.
Yeah.
So no, that was an idle threat from the very beginning.
Yeah, I knew there was an idle threat. Like you said, they already got a dog, so that's not gonna.
Dude, they got dogs, they got cats, they got families with them. But beyond that, they got dogs, they got cats. I can tell you all about the alarming number of females on drugs.
Nigga, what?
We have an alarming percentage and number of females on drugs today, y'all. I'm talking about marijuana, opioids, antidepressants. I'm talking about across the board, man. Not just one type. Benzene and Benadryl and you name it.
I notice a lot of girls smoke weed nowadays.
It's a disturbing amount, brother. It's a disturbing amount.
I came out the gas station the other day and she was in there. She smelled like weed so strong, like weed like your big cousins used to smell like. And then I walked by the car and smelled like weed. I said, this girl got to be smoking non-stop to smell this strong. It used to be the dudes that smoke weed. Dudes don't even smoke like that. It's the females.
Yeah, the females are all cracked out and weird. And you want to talk about dusty, heifer, you smoky. So that's what's going on. And one of these days we're going to have a real conversation about that. But it is a disturbing number who are doing that. And what I'm saying is that, yeah, they're retreating off into these coping mechanisms. So when you talk about pets, that's a coping mechanism. When I talk about pets, plants, tats, brats, ats, vapes, vegans. Women have a long laundry list now of coping mechanisms. You trying to degrade them or denigrate them about that's not going to have the efficacy that you might try to tell yourself it does. If men want to alter women's behavior, it's going to be the same as it always has been throughout time. You have to generously reward those who do what you said and penalize those who don't by excluding them from the rewards. That's the only thing that ever works with people is incentives. You know, I mean, this Guantanamo Bay and those things, there's a reason why, enhanced interrogation and extraordinary rendition and all that during the George W. Bush administration failed, because that's not how you get information out of people. John Carrick, talked about that. He said that he broke Abu Zubaydah, and I followed Abu Zubaydah's story. I found it to be very fascinating. He said he broke Abu Zubaydah by talking to him. They've been torturing Abu Zubaydah, and he didn't tell him anything. John Carrick started talking to the man, and he started telling him everything. So if you want to deal with women, let's start with the rewards. Make sure that the rewards are real so you can see it's obvious and real. Now you've got something with which to intellectually bargain with. But I'm going to run you down and nag you if you don't. Dude, women hear that kind of stuff all the time. And the problem is she's looking at the person complaining and asking herself, now what's the reward that I'm going to get by giving in to your nagging? Well, you get to sit here on the couch with me. Okay, well, all right.
All right. Now, Jason, far as like the rewards, this is just another question since you was talking about it. Is there like general rewards for women, or is it like certain women like certain type of rewards, or is it a certain thing that can motivate them?
Okay, well, first of all, it
Besides
starts
like a G-Wagon or something.
Well, I mean, first of all, it starts with you. Now, look, if you got a lazy chick who doesn't want anything out of life except to leech off of you, that's the first thing you need to be watching for. So, I mean, you need to do some evaluation and some vetting. But the bottom line is, if she wants something out of life, she's looking to go somewhere. That, by definition, she's looking for a man to lead her. Every woman is looking for a man because she's looking for you to take her someplace she hasn't been. So from there, what she's doing is checking your credentials and your ability and your capacity to lead her somewhere. Where are you going? Because if you don't have anything, you obviously have no means by which to transport anything. She's also checking to see if you know more than her. I mean practical stuff, not religious gobbledygook. Is he smarter than me, more capable than me, more resourceful than me, more socially influential? Is he somebody that I admire and look up to, which means that you are admired and looked up to by other men and other people? These are cues that women look for. When you got all those check boxes, she's listening. The problem is that most men today are not looked up to. So a guy like Abba, that the million followers and whatnot, gives the impression that they are looked up to by other men. Without a female ever doing any other evaluation, just looking at that number, that would give, she would not be blamed for making that assumption, even though it's a wrong assumption. So you see the signs they'd be looking for. Now, I'm not saying you have to have 1 million followers, but what I am saying is that you have to have value in and of yourself. You have to be, the biggest piece of advice I can give you is you have to be in the top 10% of something. Brother, you need to be in the top 10% of sense of humor, top 10% of articulation of speech, top 10% of, if you have a skill set, you better have a skill set. You need to be in the top 10% of at least 2 things. If you are, there's your reward mechanism right there. Hell, the top 20%. I'll even stretch it a little bit further, though I prefer the top 10. But if you want to talk about reward mechanism, brother, if you're in the top 10%, for example, holidays come around. With all my girlfriends I've ever had, I've always demanded to go see their kinfolk during the holidays. Most men try to avoid the damn family. What? I don't. Because that's your opportunity to put on a damn show. This is your opportunity. You only got to do it one night. If you only do it one night, she's going to get her hair done. You're going to go ahead and get the Maybach, the G-Wagon, the Aston Martin, whichever one it's going to be. You're going to show her sisters that she's leveled up. You're going to show her parents. I spend most of the time with the damn kinfolk. Where's your mama? Where's your grandmama? I'm here to charm the damn pants off of them because they're going to be talking about me weeks or even years after this night is over. So that's going to echo. And everybody else is going to have to listen to them because they have to come into contact with her. If she's got sisters, you definitely need to show out because you want to be everything them hoes wish they had. Because sisters are always competing with each other. So if you dating a chick or married to a chick, she got sisters, they've been competing with each other since they were children. Reward mechanism is a man who understands this. I got to be on my P's and Q's tonight. I have to be the life of the party. My jokes have to hit. My commentary has to hit. Is your uncle there? Whatever he does for a living, I'm going to be able to chop it up with him and talk to him about that. Politics, sports, religion, architecture, you name it. So you see, I'm increasing her value by showing the family my value. And they're like, well, the fella you got, he is on the damn ball. He's funny, he's witty, he's articulate, he's insightful. He's a walking encyclopedia about things, but he's not boring. He's got social skills. He's not some anime nerd. He knows about anime, but he's not just really wonky and nerdy, and he can't really talk about anything else. He can talk about anything. When you can do that, that's social reward, brother, that doesn't even cost money. That right there gives you millions of dollars in value because that's not something you can fake. That's a reward right there if you're in the top 10% of making jokes, knowledge about these things. That right there, you see what I mean? If you're in the top 10%, that is the reward mechanism right there. Money is helpful, don't get me wrong. The problem with money is that money doesn't have redeeming social interaction. Her family and friends can't hold a conversation with your bank account. They can spend it, but they can't hold a conversation with it. So this is where you have to come in. This is where you show your value, that you're not just a wallet. Because if all you are is a walking wallet, your value is plummeting. When they see, hey, take a look at his personality, that's where all the wallet came from. All of a sudden, the wallet's automatically worth 4 or 5 times what you walked in with. Inversely, when next year comes up and she done tell her ass, and you say, you know what, let me go spend your birthday with somebody else. Hey, what happened to Mike? You know that's coming. Yeah, your mama gonna be, hey, where's Mike? Okay. She got some explaining to do. Punishment mechanism. Yeah, this is gonna get awkward real quick, ain't it? Yeah, punishment mechanism. Now, this is what happens when you ain't in line. Right there. You go explain to all of them why the good look is gone just that damn quickly. Go ahead and explain that to them. And if you're real dirty, you let the family know you're gone. Say, I ain't gonna be there. So she can't go back and lie to them. Because there's a big thing, fellas. If you are the man like that, they won't ever tell the folks that they broke up with you. They'll never tell them. So if you tell them, it's like, oh, that's a bad look. That's right. You ain't gonna be able to lie and act like you got something. No, you done lost it. It's gone. Now her sister's on the damn phone. Oh, that's a shame. I'll call Mike and see if I can get y'all back together.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
And by the way, that's happened.
That's like at the family reunion when your auntie show up and that boyfriend ain't there, and everybody, okay. Where he at? Where he at? He was a good one.
Dude, this stone cold family's out here. Your sister will think nothing to grabbing your man. It's like, okay, y'all broke up. Y'all ain't together like that. Dude, you think it was just Jerry Springer? Please.
Nah, that definitely happened.
Okay. Much less cousins. The sisters might fall back. Your cousins, oh, it's fair game. The cousins were there. They're like, oh, you ain't with Mike no more? It's, oh, that nigga's fair game. Well, that's it. You didn't want him. Oh, you say he bad? Okay, let me take his bad ass then. Let me try that. Let me get some of that badness. So, being in the top 10% is your reward mechanism. Pretty much regardless of what it is, almost regardless of what it is, but starting with social skills.
Yeah, that because I'm a musician, and I remember I went to this girl. I went to her sister's Sweet 16, and it was like at this little dining hall. They had a piano in there, and I was just messing around on the piano, playing little music. And I look up, and like the whole family was around me while I was playing. And then for years and years and years, every time I see them, that's what they always talk about. So these
music is a cheat code. Music is a cheat code. If a nigga know how to play an instrument and sing, music is a cheat code. So I put up something on Patreon one time that shows you how to play chords, by ear. Just a real easy way of being able to alliterate. So that's a cheat code. Very, very. I'm not gonna say it's easy because music takes time to learn. But if you got that, no, that's a cheat code. That's a cheat code.
Yeah, it sticks with people too.
It's a language. It's a language, but it's a skill set. It's a skill set. It's not something you can fake. You either know how to do this or you don't. You can't fake playing an instrument. I don't care how you're playing it. You're going to have to press those keys, strum those notes, hit those drums. You're going to have to actually do it. You can't fake your way through this. Even if you only know one song, you're going to have to know it. You can't fake knowing it. You either know it or you don't. That has value. Because 99% of the population can't do it at all. They don't even know where to begin. They don't know where middle C is. They don't know that there is such a thing as middle C. So, yeah, I'm just saying that 99% of the population has no frame of reference. Reward mechanism. Especially if you start cheating and figure out, you don't even have to know 1,000 songs. You only need to know her 2 favorite. That's all you need to know. You just need to know your female's 2 favorite slow songs. That's it. That's a wrap. And it's so easy now because they're basically all just riffs. You just play the same damn riff over and over again. If you can do that, that's it. That's a wrap. Now, it gets hard when we go back to the 90s and the 80s. Now you have to actually know music. But anything in the last 30 years, you're good. But those are cheat codes, and that has value. Because most of the fellas they talk to, I guarantee her sisters don't know a guy who can do 1/10 of that. Can he hold a conversation with a mop bucket? Things like that. So that's the reward mechanism right there. Yeah, you want to have your money straight. That's good. But remember, money is an accessory. That can't be the foundation. It can't be. We need to know you as a person. That's where the value comes from. And the money becomes a multiplier of that. It becomes a multiplier in value, but it also becomes a multiplier in punishment when you lose it. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, Jason, that was true, man. Fellas, what you said, man, you can learn things to be in that top 20%. Don't need money. You can get on Duolingo and learn a language in 6 months. Anything like that, man. So, fellas, we got to put the pressure on. We want to change. That's all I got to say.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Look, you can complain all you want to about saying that women are born, men are built. Okay, being built is what gives you more value. As a man, you have to learn new things, learn more things, become more of a person. That's not a punishment, damn it. It's not a punishment. You're not being penalized for it. This is what gives you the right to be the boss. That's what does it right there, is your ability to make that happen. That's what does it. Do not attempt to make money be a substitute for the personality that you don't have. Develop the personality. Be a guy who just leads with that. Oh, yeah, and one more thing. Be controversial.
What? Damn!
Fellas, one more thing. Be controversial. The reason that Mr. Nice Guy is a damn fraud is because there's nothing controversial about that. You're trying to be all things to all people and all pleasing. Yeah, damn that. There needs to be something about you that irks her. To every male listening to the sound of my voice, there needs to be something about you that irks her. A female is not going to be happy with a male that she is 100% compatible with. There needs to be an element about you that irks her that you refuse to change or alter. It might be sports. It might be cars. It might be a word that you use. Look at them hoes over there. You always call them folk hoes. I damn sure am.
And deal with it, nigga.
I damn sure is. Look at them hoes over there. Did I mention they hoes? So as a man, you need to have that. Kissing ass and being pleasing, that's not pleasing. You have value by doing that because what it shows her is you're your own person and that you're not trying to acclimate to her. You expect her to acclimate to you. You're not telling her you're your own person. You're showing you're your own person. And she tells you she doesn't like that, which means that you are taking the risk that she may leave. Now you're showing authenticity because you're like, hey, you can leave, but I'm going to keep doing this. This is who I am. So if you don't like it, I guess you can leave, but I'm still going to be doing this. What are you showing? Oh, I'm real. This is authentic. This is really what it is. So be controversial. Hopefully it's being yourself. Don't be fake. No, don't be fake controversial. Don't come up with something. Ooh, she won't like this. No, nigga, don't do that. But take a look at how these fellas are failing. Mr. Nice Guy wants to be thought of well all the damn time. How about being not thought of well from the very damn beginning? How about that? Yeah, damn Mr. Nice Guy, the bad boys. He's a damn renegade. He doesn't mind being thought of negatively. Hey, they're going to talk about you behind your back. All right, heifer, let me give you something to talk about. Let me give you something to talk about. This whole damn conversation would have gone radically different if he had let them know from the damn beginning. Yeah, I'm not going to have just one of y'all stack them deep, run them cheap. It would go differently. They'd be fighting to get him to let go of the others. It's like, okay, yeah, we ain't going to do it. And they would have respected that. They would have liked that a hell of a whole lot more. You don't have to lie about it. You don't have to deceive about it. Okay, just be you. But it needs to be real. But I guess that's the first problem is you have to actually be a real person first. These have to actually be real things and real principles. You have to actually have some real principles. You're going to have to actually have some before you can actually stand on them. So these are the lessons you're going to need to learn from this tonight. To everybody listening here, I hope you put that nice guy thing to bed. Let that thing die. You nice guys, we see you. You're not real. You're not legit. You think you're slick. You think you found a low-key alternative way of sneaking these chicks into bed because you're willing to wait till after the men they really want to sleep with are done with them and you come play cleanup, playing miss. See, I'm better than them. Okay, we see you. You're not real. You never were. It won't be. And furthermore, the females are hip to the game now. So it's, dude, you might as well come on up the middle. If you don't have a core, you just need to stick to buying chicks.
What? Damn!
But if you're going to try to get by on personality and whatnot, it's going to get harder to keep faking that, dudes. It's going to get harder to keep faking it. I say this is a teaching moment. I say this is a teaching moment. I do this as a teaching moment. I want y'all to learn from this. There are no good girls, and there ain't no nice guys. Let that lie die. If ain't nobody ever told you, there ain't no good girls and there ain't no nice guys. Just chicks with some hoe in them, looking to see if they can get over, and some lames who can't really run with the big dogs, hoping that they can make all kinds of false promises to you. And that's what's really out here. Pick your poison. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. If you are new here to the business, welcome to the program that all your favorite YouTubers love to hate watch. Shout out to everybody who has contributed to support a nice program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out to Jason C. Jason C there in the Super Chat with the 100. Thank you very much for your support tonight here. Soldier Boy, Zachariah, Mr. FS Black, Sir Shah, Alonda. Man, y'all remember we thought we ran Alonda off there. What? Yeah, we thought we would run Alonda off. She's still hanging in there. Oh, wait a minute. Did Alonda say that she has Amtrak train rides?
Damn!
Alonda said, I have Amtrak train rides. Okay, what'd she say? I don't get flued out, I get rolled out. I'm not going to make the train statement. What? She said, I don't get flued out, I get rolled out. All right, here. But thank you very much for your support tonight here, sister. We appreciate that. My man Wesley, everybody else here who's hanging in there, thank you very much here. If you haven't been to our Patreon, the link is in the description. We do it 12 noon Central Time. You are more than welcome to join us. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's program live or recorded. Thank you all for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business, or your business will handle you.